Right, part two of the last video. I walked through the garden, really, that's all it is. Don't want to name too many plants. Everything's doing well. The butterflies, I've noticed, are starting to make an appearance a little bit more, but then the right flowers are starting to come out for them. There's my Euphorbia malachi. That's one of my cuttings from 2 or 3 years ago. It's doing well. Cynara behind it, looking good. That's about to flower. In fact, it's sending up its seed heads, you can see. The knobbly bits on top. But they're about another, I'd say another month away, at least, before they start looking impressive. The plant itself looks impressive, as you can see. Look at it. Spiky and big. Some good stuff here. Now this was pruned wrong. Now this, I'll give you a perfect example of what not to do. And this is a good example. So this is a Philadelphus, or mock orange. And there you go, flowering like mad there. Absolutely flowering its socks off. But here, nothing, absolutely nothing. And it will not flower this year because I had to prune this back hard at the wrong time. I'd missed the opportunity last year, so I pruned it at the wrong time. I had to prune it at the wrong time because I needed to get it off of the boardwalk more. It was just too big, too floppy. But next year, it'll do better. Once those flowers stop, that's the time to do it. And then what I will do again is I will then trim it in a little bit on this side, take it in a bit, just to control it. Otherwise, we're going to be back in the same situation if I don't. Bamboo's looking really good now. So, beginning of the year, I mentioned that this one was off colour and that it was due to the fact that it didn't have enough rain at that time of year to get it growing properly. But the other reason, and I forgot to mention this, was that behind it I used to have shrubs, large shrubs, and they've died. So this no longer gets that shade protection it needs. Now last year it didn't matter because it was quite a rainy season, but this year it's been a hot start and it would have benefited from having some shrubs behind it to keep it in the shade. You can see now it's in the shade, but it needed it earlier on in the year. But it's doing well, and it's doing what I intended it to do, which is get taller, get thicker. It is a clumping bamboo, a large one. It is a robuster, but a very good one to have. Stood on the boardwalk at the minute. Well, I'm stood on the deck itself, and there's the boardwalk. And then we get to look down the garden at it like that. It's beautiful. Love it. So we'll step down off the boardwalk itself and show you around here. Ah, look, this is what you need to be looking for. See that? That's a good seedling now. I've just pulled a load of those out. And I was hoping that that was a verbena, a particular type of verbena, but I'm not 100% convinced it is at the moment. The ones I've pulled up, I'm not sure. And I hoped it was verbena McDougalii. I hope it is. It's still looking promising. The ones in the pots are looking promising. But we also get the pheasant tail grass. See, this is the time of year when you should be walking around looking for plants. There's even more here, look. More again. That is a digitalis, definitely. I've pulled a load of those, but I will have to pull these out because there's just going to be too many. And that's Ferruginea. Off of, I'll show you over here, might as well. There, it's off that one there. That's Ferruginea. Digitalis Ferruginea. The rusty foxglove. Some nice plants. Okay, so we'll go through the clonky gate into the nook, but we're just going to take a view from here. Well, going a little bit further, go on. Be a devil. So, as you can see, it's still looking good. Ferns in here as well. A very peaceful place to go. Actually, we should go into here because I need to show you this. So, this is Euphorbia whistleberry garnet. I've now taken the seed heads off. They were huge and it's been looking good all year, but you've got to get to a point where you take them off, and I've done that now. You can actually chop this down with some hedge trimmers, either an electric hedge trimmer or petrol, whatever you use, and you can chop it right down to the base and it'll come back lovely. And it is a spreader, that's why it's here. So this area is looking nice. Fatsia japonica, I'm really not happy keeping that there. It's in an ideal situation, but because of the hedge next to it, I think I'm going to be faced with lots of problems in a couple of years' time. So it's either going to be moved or I shall leave it there and chop the back end off of it. Won't hurt it. It'll help to improve its look, I suppose. Who knows? So we'll go back through the clunky gate, carry on. I'll show you this while we're here. This is hydrangea, the climbing hydrangea, coming into here. Perfect. I keep feeding it through, and I'm obviously going to allow it to grow up again and then feed it back through again. So it clothes this. What's it look like from out here? Ah, yeah, it's looking good. You can see. Look at that. It's looking nice. That was its intention. Not doing it quick enough, but there you go. Now this is 3 Buxus sempervirens, 3 box edges. When we can get the camera right. As you know, I'm not very good at my camera work. So that's 3 together, and you can probably see I've almost made a pyramidal shape out of it. So it goes that way, and then at the back it's got a straight line and it's going up like a pyramid, so sideways. And that won't be obvious yet. Oh yeah, while we're showing you this, look, there's my hand. It's getting better, we're nearly there. I've had a couple of weeks off with it, but it's drove me batty. I like to get active. Mind you, I did actually come out and do some garden work, which I shouldn't have done, but I did. So there we go. Right, so this is a sorbus that I always mention, and to be honest with you, I should never have planted it here because I always knew it was going to cause a problem long term, and I kind of didn't forget about it, but thought, you know what the heck, let's leave it there. But I will need to remove the very lower limb. I've already removed one at the beginning of the year, but the limb you can see on the left, see, where's my finger? There it is. Right, so that one there, that little one, it's got to come off. Got to come off. It's a slow growing tree, and it's not a very big tree anyway. And that's Sorbus messel. And I love it. I love it for the size of the leaves and its very upright form. It's brilliant. Okay, right, enough of that. So we've got a lot of box edge here that's got to be trimmed into the pyramidal shape that I like to use. Climbers are doing well. That's a Kibia quinata, the chocolate vine, beautiful. Japanese garden is starting to mature. Some of the plants are maturing, so it's going to look better in I don't know, probably 5 years. It's going to look great. But it's got a load of weed there. Can you remember the bamboo that died on me? Well, that's where it was, where that green acer is, the one in the background. And all that weed used to grow around the bamboo, but you never saw it because it was always disguised. But now it's dead and I've moved it. We've got all that weed, so I need to get the weed killer out because it's just coming back every other day. It's back, or every other week when I pull it. I can guarantee a week later it's always back up. So we need to get rid of that. That's a nice Achillea. It's called it Achillea gold plate. The flowers can get a little bit big and top heavy at times, but it's not looking like it'll do that this year, so I'm hopeful that it won't need any support whatsoever. Another acanthus behind it, the white one, rue laden. Things are going well in this area as well, doing really well. Ah, right, we'll mention this while we're here. Talk about this one. It's Campanula. No, I didn't plant it. And it's either coming as a seedling or it was in the ground to start with and it's popped its head up this year. And there we are. So it's next to a helenium behind it. So I knew this wasn't, at first I thought it was the same plant. I thought it was a bit of the plant just growing faster, but it isn't. It's definitely not. It is that. Do I keep it or do I take it out? Let's let it flower. It's put all that effort in all year, so it's quite a nice one actually as well. And I like this type of Campanula. I'll have to do some research and find out which one that one is. Ah, Eupatorium. Poor old skinny mini. It's really not doing well this year. This is its bad year. I always say that there's a year where it'll grow really well and a year where it'll grow not as good. And that's true of every plant, really. If it has a good year, a very good year, you tend to find the following year they don't do as well. And that's the case here on my Eupatorium skinny mini. It's the dry weather anyway for that one this year. It's not helping at all. Now my foxgloves prove that we've had a dry year because they're not even half the size they were last year. But I've allowed them to carry on. Why not? This is Gertrude Jekyll again. And it's a bit paler than my other Gertrude Jekyll, but it is the same plant because it was very deep early on. And this one's going up the pillar. I'm allowing it to climb up this. And I'm toying with actually putting a climbing frame between the two, or between these two telegraph poles. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? I intended it to just grow up the post itself and put it on top and let it crawl along, so it would crawl up there. But we'll see. See what we want to do with that. Can't wait for this Acer to get its autumn colours. I'm not wishing my time away, but in autumn, Aconitifolium looks absolutely beautiful. Oh, it's got two Allium summer drummers there poking through, which are doing all right. Oh, look at that little dove up there. Now, these are the doves I do allow to stay. I don't mind these at all. Let's see if we can zoom in on it. Actually, don't fly. There it is. Look at that. I love the collared doves. Absolutely love them. When I was younger, we used to get the diamond doves as well, but they're rare now. They are starting to come back. But I'd love to get those ones in my garden as well. I've had these actually nest in this garden and bring off several clutches. Let's carry on. Poppies are doing well, as I said, they would. Good year for the poppies, good year for the roses. So that's the Shirley series. A bit bigger actually than other years. I suppose it must be just a good year for them. Oh, and we had the problem with this one. Oh dear, look at it. It's had the mullein moth on it, or caterpillar. And they've absolutely wrecked it. It's wrecked. So what it'll do now, it will still produce flower. I can show you, but it produces side shoot flowers, never as good as when they produce the top one. So you can see from that, a little bit floppy. So that's a Verbascum chaxii. And it ruined it, but what can you do? That particular moth only, or I believe only grows on this plant, so I left them alone. I took a few off to give it a chance. But it is what it is. So I've found a couple more Verbascums around, so we'll plant them around as well, so that we stand a chance of getting at least one that flowers. Two nice plants there. See if we can get closer. Show you what they are. So both of these are Nepetas. This is Nepeta nuda. And the one to the left of it is as well, which is a lot smaller, but that's called Nepeta nuda Romany Dusk. And is smaller, deeper colour, slightly. But if I'm honest, I quite like them both. I put them next to each other, it's a bit daft really. I've put them in there because I needed some plants to go in there, and it's quite a dry area next to my Euphorbia malachi. Now, while we're here, let's tell you about malachi again. I know you know the story. It's one of my seedlings. Now, when malachi gets to this stage, what you can see there with the yellow leaves, they would have been flower heads, but this won't flower anymore. So what I do is I wait a little bit longer, and it's a bit too early yet. I wait a little bit longer and I take them down as if they were flowers, and then allow the new growth to come up through it. Because if you don't, I don't know, you get a better look once you've done it. Because what you would have done is, if it had been in flower, I would have already chopped those back. But because this doesn't flower, I leave it a bit longer. Get a better view here. So you can see all the yellowing. We'll remove all of those stalks right down to the base. That's a good one, that. I am bringing it to the market, as I said. Dean up at Utenwald Garden we'll hopefully be bringing that out to the market in a couple of years' time when he's got enough stock. He's got one of my cuttings, so that should be doing well by then. This looks good. Always mention this one. It needs some more water. It's starting to yellow out a bit, but it's had plenty of water. I water it every day now because it needs it. Lamus arenarius. And then this plant here, so we better show it because the next time I do a filming, this will not look like this. Definitely won't look like this. All of those flower heads will have turned brown. That's Raponticum. Raponticum centraudes. I just love it. It's so wacky. You know, I like wacky plants. Now, I've always said that that one is sterile because I read that it was sterile. I checked up on it again this week while I've had time off, and it says it's not sterile, that it will grow from seed. I don't believe that because I've never ever found a seed from it, and I've tried to grow it from the seed before I realised it was sterile. And it's never grown. So what you do is in spring, you lift the plant and you take some root divisions. Or you could take root cuttings on this because they have a fleshy root. Anything with a fleshy root, if you cut it right, plant it early on, you will get plants from those roots. But you can lift it and split it. And then you'll get a very successful plant, hopefully. Put this Salvia caradonna in here. Baby one, because I've got one in the other part of the garden. And I bought this as a stock plant, to be honest with you. So I could sell some, because people, when they see plants in your garden flowering, they always want the one you've got flowering, and you never got any. so I've taken a lot of tip cuttings off that. So the ones that are flowering, I left. But there were some other ones coming up that needed to be cutting. So I've done those now, and they're starting to take, actually, very successfully. I think we all love lavenders, and that's why. It's fantastic there. Very nice lavender, very small one. I'm trying to remember whether that one is, I forgot the label. So you have to be careful because it's annoying when plants are grown. Sorry about you looking at the gravel. But I'm trying to find the name for you to make sure I don't give you the wrong name. I can assure you it's there somewhere, but it'll be in all that gravel. So yeah, I do believe it's Hidcote Blue. And if memory serves me right, I think it comes true from seed, but obviously you'll get variants on that. And this one seems a little bit bigger than I would have expected, but the colour's spot on. I say that, but they do get fairly big, and this is now 3 years old, so it should be getting to that size. Border's looking good, settling in well. Not to say too much about this border, just give it more time, get going. I'm still playing with, or toying with the idea of taking that bamboo out because I've moved it several times in here, and it does really require some water. It's my fault, I should stop moving it, then it wouldn't require water. But at the moment it does. So is it worth lifting, or should I just leave it? I'll probably just leave it and just get up here later and hit it with 4 gallons of water. But we will have to make some changes in the next 2 years on here because there's some plants I never expected to do as well as they are doing. As I say, you must overplant, put some what we call sacrificial plants in. And by that I mean put more plants than you want. There'll be 1 or 2 that'll be really successful, and there'll be some that just don't want to grow. And that is like a self-choosing of the border itself. It'll choose what plants it wants. So you remove the ones that are not doing so good. Now, usually, for me, the plants that I do want to be successful never are. And the ones that don't want to be successful are very successful. It's a bit annoying. Nothing we can do about that. We just keep selecting. We keep making it look good. We keep adding new plants, taking plants away. And that's what you should do in gardening. It's exactly what you should do. It's a nice area, this. Really like this bit. It's a gravel garden, and that's the gravel garden pergola you can see there. The rose that's growing up this gravel garden pergola is called the Generous Gardener, which is another good rose. And here's the euphorbia, a seedling that I meant to take out years ago but decided to leave it. It's a very long-lived euphorbia wolfenii. So this euphorbia, this is a good example. Now this one does flower, so you can see it's flowering. Now all those flowers you take right back down as far as you can go down to the base and remove them. Some of those will inevitably have already popped seeds off. I could guarantee that. I find them all the time around it or around the area. And when they get to this sort of colour, that's when you can almost guarantee they would have popped a few off. But I keep it because it's so big, this one. It's lovely. It's a good size. But there'll be seedlings all over here. Whereas Malachi, down there, in fact, let's get closer again. Malachi doesn't flower. You can see it should have flowers. So all those ones with the yellow leaves, they're the ones that would have been flowers and I would be removing. But yeah, I think it's brilliant. I just love it. And don't forget, when we get to autumn, that has a stunning colour on the tips. The cooler, the better. This is a new flower to me this year, and I think I showed it on the last video, but I've moved it since then, and look, it's doing well. Moved it over a week ago in that bright sunshine. Now, if you can take a big enough clump on its root, it will be okay. Just water it in well, a couple of gallons of water, and it'll be all right. And that's a very nice. Like I say, never had it before, to be honest with you. And that's a Lichness rosea. It has another part to the name, but it evades me, so I'll put it on screen. It's a nice one. Another Persicaria there called Purple Dragon, is it? Red Dragon, yeah, Red Dragon. And that will spread throughout those. It will spread a little bit. I know I always tell you it's a good clump former, and it is, but it will spread a little bit. I don't want to scare you off them, that's why I tell you that. So that you get them. Oh, I see, I moved one of the box edges. So I'm toying with putting another lavender in there, which would look really good. Another Hidcote blue one. That one there. And I've got one in one of the planters, and I'll lift it and put it in there, I think. So next year it'll look really good. The grass, so we'll get to the end of this video in a minute. The grass is looking good. Cortaderia richardii. He's at that phase now, beautiful. I just absolutely love it. It's one grass now I will never be without. And on days like today, it just shines out. And it is the most elegant pampas grass you'll ever get. Commonly called Toto, or the New Zealand Toto. Eryngium's okay. It's supposed to be Borgatii. I grew it from seed. It's never really had that lovely deep colour that Borgatii has. So maybe I need to buy an actual Borgatii as a plant, because what they do is they tend to select out the bluer seedlings and dump the rest. So maybe that's where I went wrong. And this one here, just to prove it, came from exactly the same seed batch. That one there, same seed batch, and look how tiny it is. It's supposed to be a Borgatii, but anyway, it's fine. This here is just a wild Linaria purpurea, but it's fantastic. I love it. It's self-setting around the garden, so you have to be careful, because it will become a problematic plant if you don't keep your eye on it. Let's move around here, just show you this. I won't show you this again, I'm always showing you this one. This is Phlomis italica. And that's looking fantastic. With the fennel behind it, as it's backdrop from this direction anyway. And it's lovely. And I've got that in one other location, and I've grown another cutting, which I'm hoping to put in a different part of the garden, but we'll see. Looking good. Okay, so I think we'll wrap this up. But we'll show you this one. This one is another lavender called Edelweiss, a white one, and it's got self-set Verbena bonariensis in it. And the colour is amazing this year. It is every year, but it's a lot paler lilac this year than it usually is. These are seedlings, but they all do come pretty true. And this one was from one called Buenos Aires, and it's said to be one that flowers true and is a bit shorter and more flowery. This year, not so, but you know, it is what it is. Now this is a nice euphorbia, very blue, and it's a euphorbia called Compton Ash. And it's never done very well in the garden, so I lifted it and put it into this pot, and this year it's gone absolutely crazy. It loves it, whereas I'm thinking of putting it into this planter. It'd do well in the corner there, so that's definitely a thought. It'd look better in there and remove some of the ones that aren't doing as well, that should be doing well but they're not. So I think we'll call that a wrap. The elder's looking good, Black Tower. Everything else is looking good. Look at the roses, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And everything else is looking fantastic. Just so much to show you at this time of year. I'm trying to zone in on things, but there's just so much good stuff to look at that I can't help but show you it all. Okay, I'll talk to you on the next one. Ta-da.